Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're going to break down a brand new law that is completely rewriting the rules for your digital life in India. So let's set the scene. August 11th, 2023. On this day, India passed the Digital Personal Data Protection Act. And this one document, well, it fundamentally changes how your personal information gets collected, stored, and used all across the country. So the big question is, what are these new rules of the game? Let's dive right in and break down who the key players are and what rules you absolutely need to know. Okay, so here's our game plan. We're going to start with the basics of this new rulebook, then we'll get into your new rights, what companies now have to do, who's acting as the referee in all this, and we'll even look at some special cases before we wrap it all up with what this really means for you. First things first, let's get right to the heart of it. What is this law actually trying to achieve? You know, if you look at the very first lines of the Act, it lays out its whole mission right there. It's all about creating a balance. On one hand, it's here to protect your fundamental right to privacy. But on the other, it still lets businesses and the government use data when they have a legitimate lawful reason. You can think of it like a digital tightrope walk, now written into law. All right, let's turn to the most important player in this entire framework, and that's you, the individual. So under this new law, you're given an official title, data principal. Now, this isn't just some fancy legal jargon. It's a huge deal because it recognizes that you are the owner, the source of your own data. And this new role, it comes with some serious new powers. Seriously, think of these as your new data superpowers. You now have a clear, legally backed right to walk up to any company and say, hey, what information do you have on me? You can demand they fix any mistakes or even delete your data completely. And if they don't listen, you can file a formal complaint. You can even nominate someone to take care of these rights for you if you can't. Okay, so we've talked about your side of things, but what about the other side of the coin? What about all the companies, the apps, and the organizations that handle your data? Well, they've got a new name and a whole new set of responsibilities. They're now called Data Fiduciaries, and that word, fiduciary, is really, really important. It implies a duty of trust and care. They are now legally required to be trustworthy guardians of your information, and the law gets very specific about what that means. And at the absolute core of this law is a totally revamped idea of consent. It has to be crystal clear. Before you ever agree, they have to tell you exactly what data they need and for what specific purpose. So gone are the days of those vague blanket consent forms. And get this, withdrawing your consent can't be some impossible journey through confusing menus anymore. The law says it has to be just as easy to say no as it was to say yes. But okay, let's be real. What happens when things go wrong? We've all heard the horror stories about data breaches. Well, the AFRA sets out a very clear, very strict protocol for that. And this, right here, is a game changer. Secrecy is no longer an option. If a company has a data breach, they are legally required to tell both the new data authority and, this is the big one, you. They have to tell you what happened, how it might affect you, and exactly what they're doing to fix it. Another absolutely massive change is that companies can't just hoard your data forever anymore. Your digital footprint, in a way, now has a built-in expiration date. This whole concept is called purpose limitation. So let's say you sign up for a service to sell a used bike. The moment that bike is sold, that platform can't just keep your data sitting around for years. The purpose is finished, so the data has to be erased. This is a huge step in stopping the endless pileup of our personal info. So, we have the rules, we have the players. But who's the referee? Who blows the whistle when a company steps out of line? Well, let's meet the new ref. The Act creates something totally new, the Data Protection Board of India. And this is an independent body with some real teeth. Its job is to investigate your complaints, order companies to follow the law, and if they don't, to hit them with some very significant penalties. And what's really fascinating is how they decide on these penalties. It's not just some random number pulled out of a hat. The board has to look at a whole range of things. Was it just an honest mistake, or is this a pattern of bad behavior? Did the company try to fix the problem right away? Did they actually profit from the breach? This whole process is designed to make sure the punishments are fair and that they're a real deterrent. Now, the Act is smart enough to know that some situations need extra care, and this is especially true when it comes to protecting kids in the digital world. And you can really see the difference right here. The rules for kids' data are on a whole other level. For anyone under 18, companies need verifiable consent from a parent. They are flat out forbidden from doing anything with a child's data that could be harmful. And this is a big one. No tracking, no behavioral monitoring, and no targeted advertising at children, period. It's basically a digital shield for younger users.
So we've gone through the players, the rules, and the referee. What's the final score? When the whistle blows, what does this all add up to for you?
If you take away just 3 things, let it be these. 1. You are now in control. Your clear consent is the new default. 2. You have real rights. The power to see, fix, and delete your data is yours. And 3. There is a referee. The Data Protection Board is there to back you up. This law puts you firmly back in the driver's seat of your own digital life.
Because at the end of the day, this new rulebook doesn't just change a law on paper. It's designed to change how all of us think and talk about our privacy and our data. So the next time you see that little I agree box, just remember, the power behind your click is now greater than ever before.